Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite Nhl Dfs plays for this Tuesday, January 23rd slate. And we got ourselves 9 games here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and then we'll wrap up this video with 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. Hey, we're going to kick things off here by highlighting the 9 games that we have on this slate tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Dallas Stars taking on the Detroit Red Wings, Senators at Canadiens, Lightning at Flyers, Golden Knights at Islanders, and the Washington Capitals taking on the Minnesota Wild. Next set of games here, we got the Blue Jackets at Oilers, Blues at Flames, Sabres at Ducks, and the New York Rangers taking on the San Jose Sharks. And then here's a quick schedule update for this week. Nhl Dfs video here today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Also going to be putting all my favorite Nhl Dfs plays for the Friday slate in my Discord. If you haven't joined that yet, there's a link to do so in the description below of this video. With all that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. And I am going to go back to that first line for the Edmonton Oilers with McDavid centering Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. They are certainly a very expensive line stack, but for all the right reasons. This line is truly dominated 5-on-5 all year long. Of 100 qualified lines, they rank first overall in expected goals per 60 minutes, third overall in goals per 60 minutes 5-on-5, 7th overall in shot attempts per 60, and I love that all 3 play up on the Oilers' #1 power play, sitting in a great spot at home here tonight against a Columbus team that's allowed 3.73 goals per game this year, the second most in the NHL. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that third line for the Dallas Stars. We got Steele centering Pavelski and Benn. Now the primary targets here are definitely Jamie Benn and Joe Pavelski, but super easy to justify Sam Steele within this stack, being that he's just $2,600. But you are going to see Benn and Pavelski play up on the Stars' #1 power play, which is a big reason as to why I like stacking these guys up, because their matchup here against Detroit, this Red Wings team has taken the 3rd most minor penalties in the NHL this year, averaging 3.9 per game, and their penalty kill has been abysmal as of late, just hitting at a 71.5% rate in their last 6 games. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm going to have hockey content coming out for you guys all year long. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards, and the first guy I got is Vincent Trocheck of the New York Rangers, priced at $6,800 here tonight, and a great matchup on the road against the San Jose Sharks. Honestly, I'm 100% okay rostering either one of the top 2 lines or the #1 power play for the Rags tonight, sitting in this spot against San Jose. The Sharks have allowed 3.96 goals per game this year, the most in the NHL, while having the league's worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 71% rate. But Trocheck has played very well in general this year, 15 goals, 29 assists in 46 games, and played well here as of late too, with 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points in just his last 10 games. I then got Cole Caulfield here, the Montreal Canadiens, sitting at a price of $6,500 tonight in a great matchup at home against the Ottawa Senators. He's currently riding a 5-game goal streak right now and a 6-game point streak, where he's put up 5 goals, 3 assists, and 27 shots on net. Really like the way he's been shooting the puck, playing up on the first line and #1 power play for the Montreal Canadiens, and like I said, this is a great spot at home against this Senators team, one that's allowed 3.67 goals per game this year, the 3rd most in the NHL, while having the league's 2nd worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 73% rate. The next guy I got on my list here then is Jeff Skinner of the Buffalo Sabres, priced at $6,200 tonight in a matchup on the road against the Anaheim Ducks. Prior to going on the IR, Skinner had played some really good hockey, racking up 5 goals, 6 assists, and 27 shots on net in his last 8 games, playing up on that first line with Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch, as well as the Sabres' #1 power play. Honestly, I don't mind targeting that in this spot here against Anaheim, a team that's allowed 3.48 goals per game this year, the 6th most in the NHL, while leading the league in minor penalties per game, averaging 4.6 per game. Now, getting back to this game here between the Canadiens and Senators, I also like the Senators side of things. I really like that first line with Tkachuk, Giroux, and Norris. I want to highlight Claude Giroux here at $5,400. He is obviously playing up on the first line, but as well as their #1 power play, and again, that's something that I'll definitely be targeting here tonight in this spot against Montreal. Giroux's got 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in his last 10 games, averaging averaging 11 Draftkings points per game, and this Montreal team isn't great defensively themselves, having allowed 3.50 goals per game this year, the 5th most in the NHL, while having the league's 4th worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 73% rate. And then dipping into the 4K range of forwards here, I wanted to highlight Adam Henrique of the Anaheim Ducks. I don't have a lot here on the graphic other than he's playing some of his best hockey as of late, with 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points in his last 8 games, playing up on the first line and number 2 power play for the Anaheim Ducks. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and this is another slate where I'll be looking to spend up for defense tonight, as I'm just not in love with the value. One guy that I would be willing to spend up for is Evan Bouchard of the Edmonton Oilers, priced at $6,900 tonight in a good spot at home against Columbus. He's an offensive defenseman who's got 11 goals, 31 assists, 42 points in 42 games this year, logging around 23 minutes per game and playing up on the Oilers' number 1 power play. He's also not afraid to shoot the puck, averaging close to 3 shots on net per game and 1.5 block shots per game. And I'd also be willing to spend up for Mike Matheson of the Montreal Canadiens here tonight, priced at $6,300, again at home here against the Senators. A very well-rounded defenseman who logs around 25 minutes per game, playing up on the Habs' first power play and their penalty kill. He's got 7 goals, 25 assists, 32 points in 46 games this year. And again, the Senators team not very good in their own zone. Goaltending's been shaky this year, a team that's allowed 3.67 goals per game with the league's 2nd worst penalty kill. Now, dipping into the 4K range here, defenseman, I do like Brock Faber tonight of the Minnesota Wild, priced at $4,900 in a matchup at home against the Washington Capitals. A rookie defenseman, but he logs around 24 minutes per game, playing up on the Wild's number 1 power play and their penalty kill. He's got 1 goal, 10 assists, 11 points here in his last 10 games, playing some really good hockey, and he also averages 2 block shots per game. And then, like I said, not really in love with the value here at defense for tonight, so I'm going to highlight another guy here in the 4K range. That's Jake Sanderson of the Ottawa Senators, again playing on the road here tonight against Montreal. He was back on the Senators' number 1 power play last game. We might need to keep an eye on that here today. It very well could be Thomas Chabot who gets back up on that number 1 power play, and then I wouldn't mind going with him. I hope it's Sanderson, though. I like the price savings here in the mid 4K range. He's someone who's got 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points in 42 games this year, while averaging 2 shots on goal and 2 block shots per game, too. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you, and I'd like to spend up for goalies tonight as well. One guy that I would be willing to spend up for is Jacob Markstrom of the Calgary Flames, priced at $8,300 tonight in a matchup at home against the St. Louis Blues. He is playing his best hockey of the year right now, having won 5 of his last 6 games with a save percentage of .935 and a goals allowed average of 2.18. Flames are home favorites tonight, sitting on a money line of -165, and I'd also be willing to spend up for Stuart Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers tonight. He's been hot as of late and priced at $8,500. And then with the next goaltender here, I went back and forth between Andrei Vasilevskiy and Ilya Sorokin, who I'm going to highlight. Priced at $7,800, both of those guys. I have no problem rostering either one. But with Sorokin here playing at home, I do like that, especially with Vegas playing on back-to-back nights. Played in New Jersey just last night, so I don't mind targeting him. He is more of a tournament play in my opinion, as he can be a bit up and down, but when he's on his game, he offers one of the best ceilings at the goalie position, and he has been significantly better at home this year too, going 10-3-6 this year with a save percentage of .917, goals allowed average at 2.90, averaging close to 17.5 DraftKings points per game. And as always, gonna wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub 4K forward plays. First guy that I got there is Morgan Frost of the Philadelphia Flyers, priced at $3,800 here tonight. Someone who's currently centering their second line and playing on the number 2 power play. And he's played well here as of late with 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points in his last 10 games. I then plan to go back to Pavel Dorofeyev here of the Vegas Golden Knights, playing on their second line right now with Stevenson and Stone, as well as playing up on the number 1 power play. He actually scored again last night, which makes 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points now in his last 10 games. And then I was going to highlight another Vegas player here in the 3K range. That's Nicholas Waugh. He is currently centering their first line, playing on their number 2 power play, and played very well in New Jersey last night. So you could go that route at $3,500, but I did want to highlight someone else just to kind of can't get away from that, and that's going to be Mason Marchment of the Dallas Stars. He's currently playing on that second line with Duchesne and Seguin, as well as playing on the Stars' number 2 power play. As I mentioned, that can be something that we target tonight against Detroit, but Marchment has been really solid this year. 14 goals, 19 assists, 33 points in 45 games. Not bad at all for a guy priced here at $3,600. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 9-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.